Hello, everyone. I just want to see if the audio is working. Let's see. Hello, everyone. I just want to see if the audio is working. Okay, it's working. Perfect. Okay, so hi, everyone. I hope you're all having a good day. Um, Today I'm a little low energy right now. It's because it's been a little bit heavy at work. We just found out one of our professors passed away, which is very interesting. That's why this live is entitled Energy Doesn't Lie, because yesterday I was doing a reading and that came out about something new spreading about a loss, a passing, and that's what's happening today. Um, so it's very interesting, very sad, especially when someone passes away unexpectedly and passes away so young. When they have so much of life ahead of them. Let's see. I want to put some music on. So I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. So I feel like I had to take a moment to say that, you know, the time that we have with the people that we love, that we really care about, that we really appreciate, that's important for us to be in the present moment. Enjoy every moment we have with them. Like they say, give people their flowers when they're still here, not when they're gone. Um, like because you never know when someone's last day. You never know when someone you may never get to tell someone that you love them. You will never get to apologize. You will never get to hear a joke or share a joke or spend time together, create more memories together. And I know that personally too from when I lost my grandmother last year. Um, I regret not spending more time with her, learning more about her, learning about how she grew up and her favorite things and her, cooking and all that stuff. So I feel like this is a moment where I feel like I had to share that message where we had to appreciate the people that we love and value and make sure we make time for them so that if at any point they ever leave this earth, they're physically leave this earth, that we were able to make the best of the time that we have with them, you know? So, whew. So it's kind of heavy today. I was supposed to meet up with a friend, but decided not to because I'm feeling low vibe. I did go out last night with coworkers. There was some event that we went to, and then of course I got home late. Then I ended up going to bed at 1, and then I got up before 7 to get ready for work. You know, I it's like I was fine leaving home. I got to work on time and everything. But it's like once I got to work, it's like the heaviness started to set in, and like I want to close my eyes. So I can imagine there's a lot of people right now who who are in my job that are grieving the loss of someone who was very important, someone who's valuable, who contributed a lot to causes that were meaningful to them. So, yeah, energy is kind of thick. But so I want to move away from that energy, try to lighten it up as best I can. I really like my eyes are really heavy right now. I feel like I have something in my eye. Yeah, I don't like that. So I know there are a lot of people who are sad about the loss of this person, the person that passed away. Okay, so earlier today, I wanted to do a reading, but then I wasn't able to. But I kept the cards out because I thought they were very interesting. And this is what the Yes or No deck from Maruk X. That's not the name of the deck, but that's what I'm calling it. The first card we have is No Confused Mind. Overwhelmed by not understanding what is really going on, intensity scares them. expect delays, and then you deserve better. There's someone waiting just for you. Overcome your fear of the unknown when you embrace freedom. So that's the time frame when you embrace freedom. Power of choice. Trust that whatever choice you make, love will find you again. Don't stay out of fear. And then the month January may be significant. Okay. That's making me tie back to yesterday's reading where I mentioned Aquarius. Aquarius showed up in different ways in the tarot. So Aquarius may be significant. It's interesting. I was looking at my birth chart and I was curious about what planets or signs I had in my 8th house, because I am a Scorpio, but I'm not an 8th house Scorpio. So I wanted to see what planets were influencing my 8th house, and there were no planets in it. But if you know anything about the wheel, the astrological wheel, it's like depending on where your houses are, like my first house is my rising sign is your rising sign, and it's Cancer. So that shifts all the signs where the signs are on the wheel. So if it's Cancer and then Leo and then, you know, in order, basically, something like that. But for me, I have Aquarius as it's not in my house because it's empty. The 8th house is empty, but Aquarius is like on the wheel of it. So Aquarius may be significant to you in some way. I just thought I should share that. That could be your rising sign. That could be your north node. It could be just like in a very important placement. It could be sun, moon, rising. It could even be in your Venus or your north node or south node, something like that. But with a confused mind, deserve better, power choice. And then we have at the bottom of the deck was the grass is greener. No, the grass is greener. Trying to replace you or believe they can find someone better, not worth waiting for. Okay, so there's somebody who is undecided about something. It could be you know, that you may be experiencing or someone's experiencing intense feelings, but that's causing some sort of delays because when you're confused about something, you're not really sure how to move forward. You don't know which direction to take. And if it's has to do with relationship, you deserve better. This person may not be able to provide you with what you want, and you may not be able or wanting to let go. Or there could be somebody who doesn't want to let go of the past because they're holding on to the past, and they're keeping themselves chained to it. When you embrace freedom, there's someone better waiting just for you. Overcome your fear of the unknown. And power choice, trust that whatever choice you make, there's something better for you. If someone is confused, then you can't put your life on hold for this person, because I like to think that when we remove things from our life that isn't reciprocating what it is that we want or isn't able to, then it's important for us to kind of move those people or places or situations out of our life so that we could create space for something that better aligns with us, because you can't expect that if you're dealing with someone that you're going to meet the right person while you're still dealing with somebody. No, you have to clear that space that's meant for someone who will align with you, who will meet not your expectations, but meet your standards, who is able to align with your needs and you're able to align with theirs, and you can have a very copacetic relationship with them, right? But it's a matter of choice. It's a choice that you have to make. It's funny because it says no, grass is greener. I feel like what it's saying is no, there's something better. There's something better for you. You don't have to stay in the situation, because the grass actually is greener on the other side of whatever you're dealing with, So it could be about job. It could be about relationship. It could be about some situation that you're dealing with. It could be anything. Please take the message as it resonates. What's not worth waiting for, whatever, if you're waiting for someone to kind of just make a decision about you, it's not worth the wait. It's going to be wasting your time and it's going to delay what is meant for you, because you're going to expect delays if you have this blockage that's not allowing what's meant for you to come in, So I feel like in this instance, the grass is greener is in a positive sense, they may not be able to replace you, but they're sure as hell replaceable, They could be trying to replace you, you know. They think they can find somebody better. But if that's the case, that's not someone you want to be with, you know. And if you know you deserve better, then guess what? Better will come to you. But once you create an opening, when we release what doesn't serve us, it's basically inviting what we do want, what will serve us in any aspect of our life, It's about releasing. Easier said than done, right? Okay. So I just wanted to share that message. Let's go into the answer oracle. Actually, no. I want to go to the revealing the truth deck. Make sure I take all the cards out. Revealing the truth. Just thought of because I just looked at the deck and then I see one card still behind, and then made me think of the sun that goes, no, 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 no. That just popped in my mind. So, because the card that showed was a no, and I see no, no at the bottom of the deck, and then that card said no. So there may be something that you're gonna have to like give a hard pass to, like, yeah, thanks for the offer, thank you, but no, thank you. Take it as it resonates. It's interesting because like I'm just putting it out there because of the cards, and I feel like a lot of people can resonate too. Sometimes you could be in a situation, or sometimes you're not in a situation, and you could be talking to somebody, you meet them, and then it's like, wow, this person's cool, like I get along with them, I like them, and it's like, wow, maybe there is hope. Maybe, yeah, the grass is greener. Like, what if you're dealing with a situation where you're not satisfied, you may get an opportunity to meet someone, if I'm talking about in love, or it could even be a job. You may, if you're not satisfied with something, you may get an opportunity that's going to show you that there is something out there for you. And it could be like a appetizer. It could be like an hors d'oeuvre. It's just like something that kind of like, it's a little reminder from the universe. Like saying, hey, you see this person? You see that opportunity? You see that? Whatever. Look, there's more. Don't think that things are limited. That what you see is all that there is. There's more to be explored, Okay, so let's see what the revealing the truth cards. Revealing the truth. Oh, got miracle. Come out. Dreams come true. Get what you want. Wow, that's so interesting because we're talking about like releasing something so that you can get what you want. Okay, that's curiosity, imagination, try, desire. Yes, I feel like this is what I'm saying. I feel like the universe is saying that there's something to be curious about. Like, okay, so I'm going to use love as a situation. I mean, it's the easiest thing, I just looked at this card and it shows hearts. This heart hand. It's like you may encounter somebody that it's just like, I don't want to say, I don't believe in that completing thing. Like, oh, you complete me. No, you complete yourself. Okay. Two whole people need to come together, and that's when shit, becomes not shit. But miracle and curiosity, I feel like something unexpected is going to happen, but that is going to kind of whet your palette. It's going to like be a reminder. Yeah, Catherine, look. It's interesting because so you're gonna get an opportunity. Something's gonna come up that is just gonna make you it's just going to ignite some curiosity within you. And I think it's something that's just going to remind you that whatever you're dealing with, that there's so much more to look forward to. And that there's something better out there, but you just have to be curious, I mean, curiosity can be a terrible thing, you know, if you're doing it for the wrong reasons. But I feel like it's more like with the miracle and curiosity coming out together. I feel like there's just something that's just gonna make you. It's kind of gonna give you hope, and it's gonna kind of it's going to inspire you to try something different. You know, not kind of keep yourself in a box. And it could be with anything. But I use love as in, because I wanted to say, like yesterday, I went out for a work event and I met somebody, but he's too young for me. But it's the fact that I was able to have a conversation and we got along, and I could tell he was attracted to me. You know, I could tell. Like the eye contact was insane. And I was like, wait, okay. And I just feel like I feel like that's a perfect example of something. Like something surprising can happen, and it just inspires you to try something. And the card does say imagination, try, and desire. Okay. I hope you're doing well, Catherine. Okay, what else? Got forgotten person, intuition. I don't want to look. It says nothingness at the bottom of the deck. When I look at the no and confused mind and the miracle card coming out underneath, I'm good, thank you. I like how this comes out because it says confused mind. I feel like there's going to be clarity coming in, you know, and it may come in unexpectedly. You know, you may be unsure about something, and then maybe there was something that you've been wanting, and it seems like it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, but then it happens. It happens when you least expect it. It could be something that you're wanting, but then you may be a little bit conflicted about, because you may be like, oh, well, is this ever going to happen? But it's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen when it's meant to happen, when everything aligns with you. Well, you deserve better. And then, yeah, it's like, yeah, if you're in a situation, regardless, work, family, friends, whatever, love. Oh, ew, you don't like snow? We have not had snow. We had like a flurry, and it was like a teaser, and then it went away. So nothing's stuck to the ground. So it's like, it says, you deserve better. But it's just like you need to be curious with, instead of sticking to the status quo and thinking that's all there is, like keeping your limited viewpoint or perspective. It's like looking at the bigger picture instead of looking at it from the perspective you have. You kind of have to step out of the box and be curious. But with power of choice, trust that whatever choice you make, love will find you again. Don't stay out of fear. With that, it's like saying, like, if you're in this, like, you deserve better. Don't stay with someone just because you're afraid to be alone. You know, you want to be with someone that makes you happy. And I'm not saying that they're the reason you're happy, but they kind of add to your happiness. I hate when I say kind of. No, you want to be with someone who adds to your happiness, because happiness starts with you. You know, and we're not always happy. You know, we always have we have situations that are challenging and may not satisfy us in any way, you know? So you don't want to stay in a situation. It could be love, it could be a job, or anything where you're staying because you're afraid of the unknown. But I like that it says January. January is the new year, obviously. January can be significant to you in some way, but January is a new beginning, you know? And you get to decide that whatever you're going through, you're experiencing in 2025, are you going to carry that over to 2026? Are you going to bring the drama? Are you going to bring the indecisiveness, the confusion, I want to say, you don't want to bring like any negative behaviors into the new year, especially since we're going into a new 9-year cycle. You know, this is a year 9, 2025 altogether. Collectively, when you add each digit equals 9. So, and this is a year of healing and basically like a rebirth where you're releasing behaviors, thoughts, people, situations, places, anything that isn't really serving you and is going to be a burden to your new beginning. You know, you want to get rid of anything that isn't good for you so that you can have a blank slate in the new year. And then, but it's a matter of you have to make a choice. And it may be a scary choice, whatever it is, you know, it could be risky. It's like you're going into this full energy but it's a choice. It's a personal choice, but it's a choice that you have to make if you want better for yourself, if you want more for yourself. Now, with the forgotten person, core past old friends, and then intuition, some of you may be sensing that someone from the past may be coming forward. It's a sixth sense, intuition, subconscious. Some of you may already know that you're going to have to forget about somebody, that you're going to have to leave somebody behind because they don't have a place in your new year. They add nothing to your life. You know, they add no value with the nothingness card. You know, and it's funny, it says forgetfulness. Yeah, it could possibly be somebody that you forgot about that is no longer on your radar, but then all of a sudden you may start thinking about them. They may come up in your mind. You may even dream about them. You may start to have memories about this person. But I feel like it's about closure in a way. I feel like it's a closure that you're going to have with yourself, with this decision, whatever decision you choose. I look at the bottom of the deck and then we have guard and pollution. So there may be something that it's like whoever this forgotten person is, they may have been a source of drama, controversy, toxicity, unhealthy behaviors. You may be wanting to guard yourself from that. So it's about ending something, protecting yourself from allowing this type of energy back into your atmosphere, into your energetic field. You know, this person may have been reckless or may have put you in situations where you felt like you were being reckless. Because with the loss of control card. And I would say be careful too. I don't know if you drive, Catherine. Be careful, especially when you're mentioning the snow. Be careful. Please be careful. And independent. Yeah, it's about you leaving behind and just going off on your own. You know, and asserting your independence and regaining control of your life. You know, and this is for who may ever watch this after it posts. You know. Okay, that's that. And then I want to go into, is that the Lover's card I see peeking through? Look at that. The Lover's card is at the bottom of the deck. It's funny because I'm looking at these erotic tarot cards. I don't like the ones I find on Amazon. I don't like them. The graphics, they're very explicit, but I don't like the illustrations so much. And I found another deck. Okay. Good. We want you to be safe. We want you to stay on the road, safely on the road with the proper tires. It's funny because yesterday I did a live and in the reading I got something about a loss. And I found out today, before I even started this live, that one of the people that works and where I work passed away. So I was like, oh shit, that energy doesn't lie. You know, I know somebody else's family member passed away, but then I came into work today and it's like there's like heaviness. There's a lot of like sadness here, and my eyes feel heavy, like I want to sleep. And yeah, so it's like, that's why I titled the live, Energy Doesn't Lie, you know, because of that. So I'm glad you have you're going to put or you have put on your snow tires so that you're able to drive safely. Um, but I was looking up these erotic tarot cards and I found a deck, but they're out of stock. It's called the Eros Tarot. When you say zaddy, is it like your man? No, you say you're single, right? I remember you said you don't have a boyfriend, but it's your Scorpio Zaddy's birthday. So happy birthday to Zaddy. I don't like saying that word. It's weird. It's me. But happy birthday. Let me see. I think you told me you're a Libra, right? Am I right? Do I remember that correctly? Oh my gosh. So yeah. I want that deck. I want that Eros Tarot deck. It's explicit. Cancer Sun, Libra, Moon, Leo rising. Cancer Sun. Where did I get Libra from? I remember Libra for some reason. So Cancer Sun. Yeah, I'm a Cancer rising. I'm a Leo moon. So who's Zaddy? Is that somebody's name? Or is it your father? I don't think people say Zaddy for dad. For their dad. I just need clarity because I'm a little confused. Your current obsession? But who is this Zaddy? But I want that tarot deck. Eros Tarot. It's $50. I don't care. I like the drawings. They're very graphic. I think they're perfect. And they're not like real people. It's illustrations. I don't want cards with real people on it. I want drawings. I like that. So, but the Lovers card on that deck is interesting because it has two skulls and the tongues are like licking each other. And then the Ace of Swords, it shows somebody like swallowing a sword, but it's the actual sword. It's not swallowing anything else, you know, though that would have been appropriate for that deck. But I hope they produce those cards again because I would love that deck. That tarot card deck. D-E-C-K. D-E-C-K. Okay. So sometimes I hear people say that word and I'm like, why it sounds like there's one tarot reader. She has her baby deck. But the way she says it sounds like baby. That's weird. Because of her accent. She has like a southern accent. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's see what comes out for these cards. Okay, Ten of Swords. Justice. Two of Pentacles. This aligns. Like Two of Swords. Because the Ten of Swords is under miracle and no. And that has to do with an ending. Oh, I like that pendant. It's funny. I was looking at a pendant like that. Like a crescent with a stone. I was looking at a pendant just like that. Okay. Yeah, I feel like something has to end in order for a miracle to come in. You know? Something has to end. With the swords, that's about ideas, thoughts, mindset. bringing clarity, because after the Ten of Swords is the Ace of Swords. So it's like this is an end of confusion. So if there's something that you have to decide, make a decision about, you're going to reach that point where you're going to end this confused mind, confused thinking, or there could be another person, and then something miraculous may happen. We deserve better curiosity and justice. Whatever the situation could be dealing with, it has been unfair. It's been unfair. And this ending is going to bring some balance into the situation. But what I find interesting too is that the Two of Pentacles came out. And Two of Pentacles has to do with balancing. But I feel like whatever when the justice comes in, whatever decision you make, anything that you feel like is going to bring fairness into a situation, is going to allow you to know which decision to make, you know? Because when I look at the Two of Pentacles, it's like, we have the Two of Swords, and Two of Swords is about being the two mind frames, you know, like you're trying to make a decision about something, but it's like you're juggling. You're trying to figure out exactly what it is you want to do, how you want to invest, what you should put more stock into, like what has a higher priority level, like what's more important, you know, if you see it. And there's an infinity symbol there too. I looked at the Justice card. There may be some communication coming in, a message coming in, because there's a bird on the sword. So there may be some message coming in that's going to bring, it could be something that brings more truth into a situation, brings clarity. About how to move forward, about how to bring fairness and balance into something. Because with the Two of Pentacles, there is an imbalance. It's like you're trying to juggle, trying to figure out what's more important, where should you. And it has to do with you going internally. With the Two of Swords, the person's blindfolded. And it's traditionally, in all the Two of Swords that I could remember off the top of my head, it's like Justice, Lady Justice. So this is probably a Libra card right now. So it's like you can't go by what you see. And you probably can't go by what you feel. You got to base it off facts, off logic, what makes sense, you know? I thought the Five of Pentacles was underneath the Two of Swords. And then we have balance and the Two of Pentacles. So someone may be feeling, maybe trying to change the situation. Oh, that card came out. The Empress came out. That's Taurus and Libra. Two of Swords with the Five of Pentacles. Some of you may be feeling like someone feels like they're left out in the cold. And whatever this confusion is, it's like you have to make a decision, because how can you really manifest when you're confused? You know, you have to know exactly what it is you want. And that could be what this is about. There may be like a miracle, confused mind, power, choice. You know, it's like you have to pick something, you know, choose something. No longer be like, oh, should I do this? Not be wishy-washy about something. I think it could be an easy choice, because if you just look, if something has more value than another thing, like it just, with the nothingness and the Two of Pentacles, it's like, what has more value? What has more weight? I think Ten of Swords is Gemini, because Gemini is their mutable sign. They're at the end of spring. And then we just see the Lover's card at the bottom of the deck. And that has to do with choices. Because people say, oh, the Lovers is about love. No, first, it was initially the choice card. It's about making a decision, making an important life-changing decision. And I was watching a video on TikTok, and the person was saying the only time that the Lover's card can represent Love is when you see the Two of Cups or the Ten of Cups, that type of thing. So the card that came out was the Four of Pentacles. I feel like what the Ten of Swords and the Four of Pentacles is saying is like you got to stop holding back. You got to end that holding back energy. There may be some stalling, and that kind of resonates with me. Yeah, because how can you expect to see victory or success if you're just staying in one place, if you're not making any moves? You know, and of course, if you have to end the confusion in order to decide whether, you know, some of you may be stuck in confusion and you need to end that in order to move forward towards whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you deserve, with the You Deserve Better card. Justice, Ace of Wands, curiosity, you know. We have the Ace of Wands with Justice. And Ace of Wands is about inspiration. Taking inspired action, inspired to take action. Start something new. It could be a spark, something that ignites something within you. And it could be that understanding, or even like coming to realize that whatever situation you're dealing with, but you take it as it resonates, because it could be so many different situations where you're confused about, but you could become understanding and saying, okay, yeah, I do deserve better. And the only way you could free yourself is to allow something to end so that you can have a brand new beginning, and you kind of create that space. And you have to be curious too, because with the aces, it's curiosity. It's like I'm thinking about pages now. Pages are young, they're still learning, but they're curious, you know? What about the Justice and Ace of Wands? Too many cards came out. I'm not going to try to read that because then I'll be here for 12 years. Talk about the Ace of Wands and Justice. 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 The Knight of Wands in reverse. You deserve better. But some of you, you're just not doing anything. You need that spark. You need something that's going to reignite that desire to take some sort of action, because the Knight of Wands, he's someone that goes back and forth. He's always constantly moving, you know, his ass can't stay still, you know. So some of you like are stuck. And then we saw the Four of Pentacles. So basically, Four of Pentacles is staying where you are. And some of you may just be sitting and watching, waiting. And maybe some of you are waiting for something to kind of light a fire under your belly, in your belly or on your ass, or something that'll just get you going. But it could just be that understanding and validating not validating, acknowledging that you actually deserve better than what you're experiencing. And like I mentioned earlier, like there may be something happening that does that to you. It does that for you. It's like a reminder. It's like, hey, you know, you see this is happening? There's more like this out there. And I mentioned that I was out at a work event and I met somebody. They're younger than me. They're around my son's age. That's too young. But it was just the fact that we were talking and it's like, wow, that's out there. That's still out there, you know, like there's so many more people to meet, you know, like we're not stuck, you know, like I think that's what it is. It's like, don't think that what the options that you see are all the options that you have. There are so many things that exist outside of our viewpoint. You know, we just have to look outside the box. We have to be curious and safely curious. I'm not talking about doing something reckless. And, you know, the Knight of Wands, he's known to be reckless, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe there was some reckless behavior in the past, or maybe there's not so much reckless behavior now. Because like I mentioned, like the Knight of Wands is someone who's constantly moving around. They can't sit there as still. And maybe that's what you need. You need to move around. Maybe you're always in the same environments and you're just not meeting, you're just seeing and the same type of people, You're not like broadening your horizons. And it doesn't have to do with love. It could be about anything. Like there's so much more that exists out there for us. We just have to be curious and safely curious, legally curious. What is it? Two of Pentacles? Four Swords, resting. But when you think about forgotten person intuition, like the Four Swords is about meditation, prayer. Maybe that's where you're stuck in and you're trying to get yourself out of this. Like, well, it kind of makes sense with the Knight of Wands and in reverse and the Four Swords. I don't know, maybe some of you have been lazy and you don't feel, but when we think about forgotten person and intuition, there may be somebody who may be deciding to try to come back. A core person, past person, old friend. You may be sleeping on this. You may be, like I mentioned, with the intuition, you may be having dreams, something that's kind of indicating that, there may be somebody coming back around where you have to decide whether or not. And it could be happening around January. You have to decide whether or not you're going to allow this person back in. You're going to have to look at how much value this person even has or can bring into your life. Because when we are allowing people into our life, we have value and we add value to them, there needs to be some sort of reciprocity. It can't be only you giving and they're not, or they're not giving enough and they're just taking. And that could be where the imbalance is too. So if that's the case, then you have to decide. You get to decide if you want to re-engage with this person or not. And you're going to know if they've changed or not. If they're willing to reciprocate what you have to offer. And it doesn't, like, it could be a job, an old job, somebody that you used to work with, an old boss may be coming back, wanting to offer you something, but then it's like, are they giving you the same shit? Or trying to offer you the same shit? Or, is this going to be something new, something different? And then you're going to have to decide whether or not it's something you're going to accept. Anything else? I hope this reading resonates with somebody. That card came out. Two of Cups. Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess it is like some sort of partnership. And Two of Cups, it doesn't have to be only about love. It could just be a partnership. It could be a friend, because we do have the forgotten person. So it could be somebody that you were involved with. It could be a friend. It could be an old lover. Somebody that that's interesting that Two of Cups came out. Ooh, 4-1. No, 5 of Wands, yeah. There may have been some situation where there was conflict, there was drama, maybe competition, So if it is competition, it could definitely be something about a partnership outside of love. But then we have the Empress coming out too. So this is about creation. What's that 3? Collaboration. So this person may be a Taurus or a Libra, because the Empress is Taurus or Libra. We have Libra with the Justice card. It could be somebody that you have a child with, or someone who may be pregnant, or someone who you want to have a child with, or somebody you created something with in the past. It could be somebody wanting to come forward with an offer to start something new, build something new, create something new. Three of Pentacles with collaboration. And the Emperor. Oh, wow. This person could be an Aries. Aries. They could be a boss. They could be an old boss. It could be an old boss. Because the Emperor, he's a boss. But it could be somebody that you may have been involved with. Because I have the Emperor and the Empress. And then we have the Two of Cups too. So, I mean, maybe that there was something interfering. Something interfering or something is interfering. Something was or is. But it's like you get to decide if you want to reunite with this person. Can you be in harmony with them? And this may come around January. So if you already knew something like this was going to happen, and this is something that you want, and it's taken some time because we have expect delays in the confused mind card. So that may be the reason why. You know, maybe somebody's trying to get themselves together. Get this offer together. Make it pretty for you to consider taking before they offer it to you. But then you're going to have to look at the value of it. Is it something worth investing in, or if it's something that's just a waste of time, something that you shouldn't even bother entertaining? And I see the Seven of Pentacles. That's about reflection, you know? So it's like something that you're going to have to reflect on. And I don't know, for some reason, I keep getting taking stock. Taking stock. Okay, that's that. With that. Oh, God, I have 5 minutes left. Let me put these cards away. Okay. I'm so nosy. That's a Scorpio in me. I'm like, who's Zaddy? Who is this Zaddy? Is this the Emperor? No. So you have a Libra moon. Justice card came out. The sun didn't come out. The man. Okay. I didn't touch this deck. What am I shuffling it for? Peace, balance, harmony, and friendship. Makes me think of that song for Selena. Como la flor, como la flor, con tanto amor, me dice tú, se marchito, me marchó ahí. Yo sé vender, pero... Because I see the flower, the white flower. And Selena's favorite flower was white roses. The singer Selena. Oh, somebody's name could be Selena. The fact that I'm bringing that up. Selena is the moon. Selena. That's a pretty name. We like men like that. We do. I like being in that energy. Man, my soft feminine energy is just finding the right person to, that puts you in that energy, because not a lot of men are putting women in that energy. If anything, they're making us be in our masculine energy. I was about to say a bad word I'm not allowed to say. It's the N word. Let's see. I want to do a love real quick. Don't know. Let me just step inside. Okay. It's funny because I think in the beginning of the reading, I mentioned irreplaceable. Like some love is irreplaceable. You know, like someone may be trying to replace you because we did have the card, the power of, no, was it? The grass is greener. Like someone is trying to replace you, but like, yeah. I like Taurus. And not all Tauruses are built the same though, because there are some Tauruses that they're Taurians, I should say, they're cheaters. But yeah, I like Taurus. You know, I don't have a problem with any signs, like zodiac signs, because when you understand astrology, you understand that not all signs are built the same. You know, you got to think about but I think there are cheaters in all signs, you know? I don't think it's only one sign that's a cheater. You have to look at the entire chart. And it's funny, I was in the store and I was talking to somebody and I was like, oh, when's your birthday? And they were like, oh, this day. And then I'm like, oh, you're an Aries. And they were like, you believe in that stuff? I was like, do you believe in your religion? I felt clever saying that. He laughed though. He laughed. He wasn't expecting me to say that. Oh, the card damage. We are both hurting from this. Okay. New chapter. I'm trying to move on. Oh, this card is calling to me. Self-love. Yeah. This has to do with healing. I'm still trying to heal. Yeah. Like somebody experienced some traumatic event with a relationship, but it's like, I feel like this person is still in this healing process. And then we had what's that card called? The Power of Choice card, and it said January. And then you see fireworks here. People tend to put off fireworks on the new year. So I feel like someone is still in this transition. And it's like right now, the best thing to do is just continue with healing, focusing on healing. And not many people know what healing is. And I feel like some people trap themselves. They're like, oh, no, if I'm healing, then that means I can't have fun. I have to be by myself. I have to be crying. I have to be doing this. I have to be doing the shadow work and all that. But then it's like, okay, so that's all you're doing. You're not going to live. You know, you have to eat, right? You have to go do something. You know, you got to have a reason to heal. You know, you have to, what are you going to heal for? Just to heal? No, you want to heal to make your life better so that you can leave whatever you've experienced in the past behind so that you can start off like January, have a clear blank slate where you're happier, and happy is subjective, but it's more like you're more receptive to like new and good experiences. But it's like healing doesn't mean your life has to stop. It's just that you may have to move differently, you know, be more discerning of things that can be triggering. And then also if you do experience triggers, it's like, how are you going to, you know, work on them? How are you going to make those triggers points of, like, make them teachers? Triggers are teachers. They teach us. They teach us what still hurts, what still needs to be healed, where there still needs to be compassion, where forgiveness may be needed. And, you know, I keep saying I'm a proponent for self-forgiveness. Like, fuck forgiving other people, forgive yourself, you know, because you can't, like, what people do, you can forgive them, but you don't have to make a big show like, I forgive you, you know, for doing, no, you know, you don't even need to give them that. It's not, because forgiveness isn't for them. It's for you. It's for yourself, you know? So maybe somebody is still like harping on, that's such a bad word, but you know, some people, they get stuck in stuck in the pain. And it's like, it's time to end that. It's time to accept that things have happened, that you can't go back in time and change things. And that is, okay, you gotta go. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. So yeah, you have to, I hope you have a good day, Catherine, and a great weekend. So I am trying to move on. Yeah, forgiveness is so important. You need to forgive yourself. Don't harp on the past. The past, you can't change the past. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can learn from it, you know, and if it continues to hurt, if you still have like those little sensitive points that need healing, you know, you're going to learn how to move through them and heal them. And healing takes time. You know, if you break a bone, you don't expect for it to mend like in a day or two. It takes time. It can even take years. You know, you just have to be patient with yourself, patient with the process, and try to live your life the best you can with what you're still healing from. Life doesn't have to be put on hold. I feel like that's the sum of this message. Yeah. So let's see. I think that's it for now. So I'm ending the reading. I hope everyone has a great day. And thank you so much for taking time to watch. Thank you, Catherine, for joining me. I really appreciate your time and energy. And I hope everyone who watches during the replay and while I'm live, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend ahead. And I'm sending you lots of love and light. Take care. Bye. Oh, my name is Tan. I'm your reader, and this is Artemis Oracle. If you like, please share, please subscribe, please leave a comment if this resonates with you at all, and I appreciate you. Bye.